Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, a little bit behind today on Monday, August 14th, daily lectionary reading. We are reflecting back at what happened on church on Sunday. Our psalm reading is Psalm 18, 1 through 19. Our Old Testament reading comes from the book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 11, through chapter 8, verse 5. And then our New Testament reading comes from the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verses 4 through 10. Let us listen in to the scriptures via the message. Psalm 18, 1 through 9. I love you, God. You make me strong. God is bedrock under my feet, the castle in which I live, my rescuing night. My God, the high crag, where I run for dear life, hiding behind the boulders, safe in the granite hideout. I sing to God the praise lofty, and find myself safe and saved. The hangman's noose was tight at my throat. Devil waters rushed over me. Hell's rope cinched me tight. Death traps barred every exit. A hostile world. I called to God. I cry to God to help me. From his palace, he hears my call. My cry brings me right into his presence, a private audience. Earth wobbles and lurches, huge mountains shake like leaves, quake like aspen leaves because of his rage. His nostrils flare, billowing smoke. His mouth spits fire. Tongues of fire dart in and out. He lowers the sky. He steps down. Under his feet, an abyss opens up. He's riding a winged creature, swift on wind wings. Now he's wrapped himself in a trench coat of black cloud darkness. But his cloud brightness bursts through, spraying hailstones and fireballs. Then God thundered out of heaven. The high God gave a great shout, spraying hailstones and fireballs. God shoots his arrows, pandemonium. He hurls his lightnings, a rout. The secret source of oceans are exposed. The hidden depths of earth lie uncovered. The moment you roar and protest, let loose your hurricane anger. But me he caught, reached all the way from the sky to sea. He pulled me out of the oceans of hate, that enemy chaos, the void in which I was drowning. They hit me when I was down, but God struck by me. He stood me up on a wide open field. I stood there, saved, surprised to be loved. Our Old Testament reading is Genesis 7, verse 11, all the way through chapter 8, verse 6. It was the 600th year of Noah's life. In the second month, on the 17th day of the month, that it happened, all the underground springs erupted, and all the windows of heaven were thrown open. Rain poured for 40 days and 40 nights. That's the day Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, accompanied by his wife and his sons' wives, boarded the ship, and with them every kind of wild and domestic animal, right down to all kinds of creatures that crawl, and all kinds of birds and anything that flies. They came to Noah and to the ship in pairs, everything and anything that had the breath of life in it. Male and female of every creature came, just as God commanded Noah. Then God shut the door behind him. The flood continued 40 days, and the waters rose and lifted the ship high over the earth. The waters kept rising. The flood deepened on the earth. The ship floated on the surface. The flood got worse until all the highest mountains were covered. The high water mark reached 20 feet above the crest of the mountains. Everything died. Anything that moved, dead. Birds, farm animals, wild animals, the entire teeming exuberance of life, dead. And all people, dead. Every living, breathing creature that lived on dry land died. He wiped out the whole works, people and animal, crawling creatures and flying birds, every last one of them, gone. Only Noah and his company on the ship lived. The floodwaters took over for 150 days. Then God turned his attention to Noah and all the wild animals and farm animals with him on the ship. God caused the wind to blow, and the floodwaters began to go down. The underground springs were shut off. The windows of heaven closed, and the rain quit. Inch by inch, the water lowered. After 150 days, the worst was over. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ship landed on the Ararat mountain range. The water kept going down until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains came into view. Another 40 days, Noah opened the window that he had built into the ship. Our New Testament reading from 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 4 through 11. God didn't let the rebel angels off the hook, but jailed them in hell till judgment day. Neither did he let the ancient, ungodly world off. He wiped it out with a flood, rescuing only 8 people. Noah, the sole voice of righteousness, was one of them. God decreed destruction for the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. A mound of ashes was all that was left, grim warning to anyone bent on an ungodly life. But that good man Lot, driven nearly out of his mind by the sexual filth and perversity, was rescued. Surrounded by moral rot day after day after day, that righteous man was in constant torment. So God knows how to rescue the godly from evil trials, and he knows how to hold the feet of the wicked to the fire until judgment day. God is especially incensed against these teachers who live by lust, addicted to a filthy existence. They despise interference from true authority, preferring to indulge in self-rule. Insolent egotists, they don't hesitate to speak evil against the most splendid of creatures. Even angels, their superiors in every way, wouldn't think of throwing their weight around like that, trying to slander others before God. And here ends our readings for the day.